What's up, G-Show land, and welcome to another episode of the G-Show podcast. I am G1, and guess what this is? Guess what it is? If you see the thumbnail, it's another review of Godzilla Minus One. Why the fuck not? Why not? This movie's fucking classic. But see, here's the deal. Yesterday, while we went 3+ hours gushing, there was a lot more people in the panel. Today, it's very limited. It's very intimate. So let's get those out of the way. Introduction, starting with, of course, JR. How the hell are you? It's good to see you up.
I'm good. I'm playing Baldur's Gate right now.
Yeah, that's great. Shut up. Gam Z1. What the hell's going on?
I haven't gotten a chance to get my second viewing in, but I'm searching sites because I'm not spending an hour driving just to watch it again.
Yeah, that's terrible. Shut up, you two. Hey, joining us. Finally, you would think you'd be one of the first people to see it, but no, you actually waited. You held out. You all hold out. Ladies and gentlemen, Shin Robjira, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm tired, but I'm properly cinemaed, and I'm ready to talk about this hulking mass of movie.
Well, since we went all in yesterday, it's only right to give you the floor and out of theater reaction first, and then start breaking it down.
Well, for one thing, I saw this with a bunch of people who've never seen a Japanese Godzilla movie in theaters before, and walking out of the theater and all of them saying, I fucking loved that. I loved every minute of it. That brought absolute joy to my heart. And, we had our out-of-theater discussion, but right out the gate, I mean, what is there even to hate about this movie?
There's some people out there.
I've seen some complaints, and these people be yanking at the shorties for some of these arguments they were having. But me, dude, I'm gonna save that comment. But it was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It had a little bit of everything in there. Godzilla, the humans, peak musical moments, terrifying moments, wholesome moments, heartbreaking moments. It's like, I don't want to say it's the perfect movie, but it's goddamn close, isn't it? It's just well-rounded. It's paced like a dream. I didn't feel like I was waiting too long between things. The human cast was carrying. The story was engaging. It really had a little bit of everything. A couple laughs here and there too, which I wasn't expecting. And I mean, honestly, what could I honestly complain about with this movie? Nothing at all. And that's what makes it great.
No, indeed it does. As my brother texted me talking about how Legacy of Monsters this week was trash. All right, I'm going to shut him down because he's trash. No, agreed. Upon my second viewing this morning, So, full disclosure, these fellas know already, Rob, Wednesday when I saw it, I was a couple in, had 4 pints before I seen the movie, so I had to hit the head twice in that movie. And watching Godzilla movies the way we watch Godzilla movies, you know when to run, even if you haven't seen the movie. So, Godzilla comes, does the damn Godzilla stuff. Okay, I got some time. Run to the bathroom. Same thing. Did that twice. Today, did not have that problem. So I'm watching the movie now, and the little things that I missed, right, makes so, and not that there was any importance to the movie as a whole, but it just made the bonds stronger with the characters. And I was sitting there today, and I was like, damn, all right, wow, all right. Like, I totally felt it. For instance, first piss break I went to yesterday was right after the girl put the baby in his arms and took off running. I said, all right, my turn to run. So I missed their whole first legit interaction. And when I saw that today, I was like, fuck. That is, it really makes what happens later feel, it made me feel more for it.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
I tell
my
you,
God.
and by the way, Gams, JR, I'm gonna have to change my story score from a 9 to a 10. So I'm gonna do that right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just scratch X that out. I'm gonna put a 10.
I was on point with that. I was telling you, man. It was a 10.
It's a 10.
Good story.
It
is.
was a solid
It's
10.
Absolute solid. I mean, even if I tried, I don't think I could really find anything in here that felt like it didn't need to be there or anything, because it was all in aid to the final product.
Yeah.
I mean, we get these we get these people, these random everyday stranger. Okay, I don't want to overstep my talking points here, but I think it was beautiful that it was just people. It wasn't an organization. It wasn't the major military. It was just people. The beer cooler boys got together and did what they did. And I think because I know the conversation's going to happen, like it doesn't like either here or anywhere else, but Minus One is probably like the perfect yin to Shin Godzilla's yang,
Oh, yeah.
because it did everything that Shin Godzilla didn't do with its human side story. And as a lover of Shin Godzilla, I'll gladly fucking admit that, because that's where people are going to draw not the line, not the comparison. Well, maybe the comparison. That's where people are going to see eye to eye with this movie where they couldn't with Shin Godzilla. Because none of us are Japanese politics. Let's be honest.
Nor Japanese scientists.
You're walking on some eggshells right now. We had a very strict no comparing to Shin Godzilla thing yesterday.
Now that went out the window the first 5 minutes when Chase started shitting on Shin Godzilla. It just went right out the window.
But no, I'm just saying, like, where we were following politicians, this time we're following people that we can actually see eye to eye with in a certain situation and, mindset and the whole 9 yards. I mean, that whole, like, point when everybody was dipping and everybody stayed, it's like, that felt like a real town moment. That felt like a community moment. It didn't feel, government. It didn't feel anything like that. And I think that just adds to the overall appeal the movie is having now, because, I mean, they're people. They're not politicians. Politicians aren't people.
I love
And there's no politicians. There's no real presence of the Japanese
Yes.
self-defense force because, well, it didn't fucking exist then.
No.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say the same thing Games just said. The absence of the politicians was a bold move for a Godzilla
Huge.
movie, because there's always a politician in Godzilla movies. There's always someone with an of importance that everybody's gonna ask them what to do, and that wasn't the case here. Hell, even Doc was just like, they picked me because I had experience on the boat with Godzilla. Like, that thing legit says that, and I'm like, this is amazing.
it is. And they MacGyvered up that plan like nobody's business. I loved it.
So, and obviously this is a spoiler review, and I love how we're not doing the way we did it yesterday, the format. We're talking about things that
going
are
scene
happening.
by scene.
Yeah. So let's talk about that end, because as I'm watching it again today, I want to be honest here, 100% disclosure. I had tears in my eyes several times watching this movie, and I think the first time was the boat chase sequence. Just seeing Godzilla, and I was. It's impossible that this movie had a $15 million budget. It's impossible.
But it's the facts.
It's impossible. Look, you know me. I love the MonsterVerse shit. You know me. I love GVK, but there's no fucking way that's a $300 million movie, and this is a $15 million movie. I'm sitting there like, Godzilla looked fantastic. I mean, I literally was sitting there with tears in my eyes, like, how the fuck did they make this guy, this creature, look so fucking gorgeous? It's crazy. yet menacing and scary and fucking playing cat and mouse with that boat. My God, it was
Here's how you do
powerful.
it. You get a writer and director who also happens to be a damn good VFX artist, and just have him put his passion into this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
And I don't think there's any questioning Yamazaki's passion for Godzilla. I mean, it feels like he's been trying to get a Godzilla project of his own for years now. And he finally got it. And there's so many tiny moments when Godzilla's on screen where you can tell he was just behind the camera like, ah! Like, he knew. He knew he was cooking.
He was,
knew.
And not only that, but he was like aping himself. The very beginning where you see Godzillasaurus, that the first time, like, he's in the pose that his Godzilla was in, the same exact pose at the very end of the dream sequence of Always Sunny or Always Sunset, whatever. And I was like, that's fucking phenomenal. I will say this too, you could tell his love for Godzilla on that red carpet where they're interviewing him. In all of the interviews I've seen, he's holding that Godzilla -1 figure like it's an Oscar, like it's a fucking Academy Award. He's holding that shit with pride. He's not gripping it. He's not. It doesn't look forced or phony or playing to the cameras.
No.
It's like, yo, this is my guy. I love him. And I was like, yo, please
This
do
is my
another
child.
one. Yeah, I was like, please do another one. Pretty please. I need more.
With that ending, if there isn't another one, we're gonna be tossing hands. I'm just saying.
No, there's no.
Yeah, dude.
No, there's no doubt about it. Toho is absolutely setting up their version of the MonsterVerse. That ending, Gams, that spot on her neck definitely was creeping up. It was moving.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I actually have a new alternative fucking theory about that.
Yeah.
And hear me out on this one. Matango.
I love it. I fucking love it. That's where, yo, I hope Toho suit the shit out of Sony in The Last of Us. That's where they got it from.
Yeah. The Matango of it.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great idea. But, oh yeah, that thing was definitely creeping up, and I don't know much about radiation poisoning. I don't know if you can actually see it moving the way you saw it moving.
Undulating.
Yeah, that wasn't that was purposefully put there. That's a setup.
Yeah.
That is a setup.
Did it resemble a dorsal fin to you guys? Like the
Yes.
shape of it? Because when I first saw that, I'm like, is that a dorsal fin, Mark? Like, it kind of came off that way. I don't know. I'll have to wait until some HD pictures come out of that, but
I felt that.
immediately it was just like, is that a fucking dorsal fin? Is she
Yeah.
growing a dorsal fin under her skin?
I definitely felt
It's the
that.
Godzilla virus.
It's the Godzilla. Dude, I to compare it to Shin Godzilla, it felt like what they were doing at the end of Shin Godzilla with the humans on the tail, the humanoids on the tail. So I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And obviously
100%.
seeing a regenerated G1 in full effect. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. He had the heart for it for sure.
Oof. No.
Rob, what did you think? What did you think about the violence in this movie? How they fucked Godzilla up? They blew up his fucking face twice.
Now hold on a minute. We can't talk about the on Godzilla violence without mentioning that this boy was fucking murdering these people on Ono Island.
So good.
Literally biting the hell out of them, tossing them, smashing. Like, this man was a menace from the time that he looked like what he looked like. And
I made a comparison last night. He was like Jason Voorhees. He regenerates and he murders.
Yep.
And they blew off his friggin' head.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. But at least he didn't turn into a weird slug. But that's only if you eat the hearts.
Don't even bring that movie up. Halloween's over.
Yeah, let's not. I like to forget about it. But no, the violence on humans, because you see people get stepped on in nearly every landfall sequence. And when they blew up that mine and took off homie's whole, like, half side of his head and just, no, I'm good, bro. We still going. I was sitting there like, God damn, how are they going to get rid of this guy? He just grew his whole head back. But from that moment, I'm like, we're going to see a beating heart, aren't we? They're going to do something to this guy. We're going to see a beating heart because since the film released in Japan, they kept mentioning GMK for a number of reasons. And I'm like, maybe he'll do the beating heart because I know he loves GMK after that week. And as soon as that little thing crawls up her neck, I'm like, oh, they're going to show the heart. They're going to show the heart. They're going to show the heart. And you just see it come to life. And I scrumped. I scrumped very, very loud because that's how you fucking do it, man.
Yeah, buddy.
In all of Godzilla's history, this is the biggest franchise of the longest running franchise of all time. And that's a fact.
That's a Guinness World Record right there.
It has to be, right? It is. In all of the movies, we've seen Godzilla killed, put down several times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this one was the most genius one. Like we were talking yesterday, there was no MacGuffin with the oxygen destroyer or a lure to take him to, Mount Mahara and dump him. There was no toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? Mouthwash to stone him. There was none of that. No. It was a simple, like Gam Gam said. Gam Gam, what did you say?
It was very realistic in the plan, like just giving him the worst case of the bends he ever did fucking get.
That was when he said that yesterday. I was like, oh, that's exactly right. They gave him the bends. They killed Godzilla by giving him the bends. That was insane.
That look he had when he finally resurfaced, his eyes were all bulging, his skin was doing what it was doing. That one shot of him lurched forward, you're staring straight at him, and he's got his mouth open. Bro, I want a poster, I want a shirt, I want a mug, I want wallpaper of that scene, just that scene, because holy...
He looked so fucking pissed.
Yeah, that was...
And that was probably worse than seeing him melt down in Godzilla vs. Destroyer, honestly. Because, dude, there's two different kinds of suffering. This dude was dead by the time his friggin' face melted off. Here, he's still alive.
He's in pain.
You don't know up from left.
But the regeneration thing, and I think that because there's an intelligence behind this Godzilla. Those eyes tell all the story. Like this, oh my god, this is why I was crying. I was like, oh my god, look at it. There's no doubt in my mind that this Godzilla knew I can take a hit because lo and behold, look, I'm coming back. But that right there. Man, that secret, his eyes all bulging out. That fucked me. I can't look at that shit. I was like, oh no. But it is what it is. It was a genius idea because, as you mentioned, Rob, it was basically the common folk. It was the dudes who survived the war, the fishermen that were out there on the front lines. They were the ones that were like, I don't want to do it again. And some of them were like, for my country, what was it? Captain said it the best. I don't want to see Tokyo burn again. Oh my God, I fell out my seat. It was beautiful. But the fact that there was no scientific, super plan. It was simply drown him, let the water pressure crush him, and if that don't work, we bring him back up real fast, and he'll pop. Genius.
Yep.
It works for that time. There's no super solution.
No.
It's that and that's
Anybody
it.
who argues that is ridiculous because it works. It's like, all right, what are we going to do? Let's drown him. All right.
It's a real world solution.
Simple.
It's a simple real world solution. And that's what I loved about it. You didn't have to go all crazy.
Nah.
The Shin Godzilla plan, and it's not a knock. The Shin Godzilla plan was way over my head. It was way too technical. The oxygen destroyer was just like, Emiko, look at this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Okay. They don't go into the science behind it. It's just, this is what it is. The MacGuffin. This was so fucking well. Look. I mean, hell, one Godzilla movie, they blew him up with a rocket. So I just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
This was fantastic, and I will say I was watching it again today. Obviously, after they blow up the mine in his mouth, right, and he comes back, and the Takao comes. Yo, that warship was fucking devastating him. You actually see his body getting rocked, like he's getting opened up by those shells, and I'm sitting there like, again, tears in my eyes, like, oh my god, this is fucking beautiful. And then Godzilla's revenge in that scene was just like, mwah, fucking phenomenal. It's just so good. It's too good. It really is too good. It's one of the greatest Godzilla movies ever made. It's definitely one of the best monster movies ever made. Good Lord have mercy, I gotta watch Gamera 3 again, but I'm telling you right now, this one is, this is the Godzilla movie I've been waiting for, yep. This is the one.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like, I couldn't fight you on that even if I tried. And even then, it's like, what am I going to say? Like, this movie did everything right. It really did. Like, the music.
The music.
When the Godzilla suite played, when he first made landfall, that was my first tear in the eye moment. Like, seeing him walk up on land and hearing, like, done. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. There really wasn't. And, man. I think somebody said this is the perfect and quintessential modern-day Godzilla movie. And I'd have to agree. I'd be hard-pressed not to. I'd be stupid not to. Because... dude, he comes out of the ocean, he screws shit up for Japan just as they're getting somewhere, and he leaves. Cinema, 10 out of 10. You got the fucking, you got the formula down.
Now, Rob, what did you think about the fact that they only had one rampage? Because yesterday, that was one of the very minor gripes that we all had, was that most of the time the formula is Godzilla comes ashore the first time, does a rampage, goes back to the ocean, then comes back, does a second rampage, and then at the end they find a way to defeat him.
So, the one and only rampage segment did so much. Like, there was so much that happened in that one segment. Do I wish there was more? Sure. Why not? Absolutely. But this man devastates blocks. And then he gets pissed off. He unleashes his thermonuclear Jordanian Sonic Adventure Baja Blast beam. And he decimates a whole other part of the city. And
he
not
blew
just
up
with the
diet
beam,
building.
with the aftershock of it too.
Yeah, he nuked the diet building.
And that scene where he is just standing, almost looking like he's reveling in his work, just like, like the mushroom cloud rising up, and he's just standing there looking up like, oh, talk about peak cinematography right there, because that was magnificent.
It really was.
That was truly fucking magnificent. Shin Godzilla didn't do that.
I tell you, it's funny. You bring that part up. When I saw it on Wednesday, like I said, a little bit, boom. I was like, oh, it's the scene from the trailer. But watching it today, I noticed that. I noticed him looking, admiring his handiwork. You see it. It's there. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit. I was fucking blown away by that. I was like, yo.
Yeah, like,
he knows
literally,
what he did.
that was him going to himself, oh, wow, I can do that.
Again, it goes to my analogy yesterday. He's like a fucking cat that destroys your house and then looks at you like, yo, where's my food? Pet me. Like, he was that dude. Just admiring his handiwork. that scene, and then the scene where the dude just like realizes the total destruction and loss of everything and starts to scream as the black rain starts hitting him. Oh my God. That scream, the acting in this movie is top notch. Top notch. Everybody, even the little girl. Even the little girl.
Adorable.
Her crying was breaking my heart. I was like, the second time she cried, like when she gives him the picture of all three of them right before he leaves.
Mm-hmm. I was about ready to kill everybody in the room and then myself.
Oh my God. Her face, when she starts to cry, that's the face I was telling everybody, I turn around and chop my brother. Chop! On Wednesday. Chopped him. Pop! Motherfucker, you see this shit? That face she made was the same exact face that my niece used to make when she was that age. When I was like, oh my God, it was like your fucking daughter. It was insane.
No.
Top notch.
You want to know what it reminded me of, that face? That face reminded me of that little girl that lost her parents in 54. And Emiko was holding while she was crying.
Yeah. So many good things. Hell, even 54. I doubt it. I gotta watch it again. But the little things, the little things. The end where they're running up the stairs in the hospital. It looked like the same staircase that Emiko was in 54. And I could be 100% wrong. But I just got that feeling. I was like, huh. No way, right? Like, we didn't recreate the set, right? Did we? But
knowing Yamazaki, it's a possibility.
Because there's so many nods and homages in the entirety of Godzilla. From the entirety of Godzilla in this movie. And it just, everything hits. Like, from the music to certain scenes with Godzilla himself. Just looks and shot selections. And it's unbelievable. It literally, to Homegirl at the end looking like Serizawa. That's just unbelievable. So
it really did feel like a celebration of the franchise as a whole, just in the way that it carried itself and all the little hints and nods and everything. But one scene that just like came back to me because it was so quick. Don't hate me for getting the testing name wrong, but Castle Bravo testing, where they drop the bomb, and you just see that close up of his face and his eyes popping, and it's it. Yep. That's all. Like, I wasn't expecting to see none of that. Zero.
Yep.
And just the fact that we got it, it was quick. You knew what it meant, obviously, because he didn't look like how he did in the first 15 minutes of the movie versus the trailers. It's like, okay, what's going to happen to him? Gee, I wonder. But it was beautiful. He communicated. Dude got hit, and boy, did he get a growth spurt.
Birth of Godzilla right there. Birth of Godzilla right there. Yeah, I was paying attention to that scene a lot today because when I saw it on Wednesday, I was like, whoa, wow, that was dope. Yeah, you see him. He's burning. He's singeing. His eyes are getting all... It's insane. And it's literally 3 seconds long. It's like, what are we doing?
Doing all the right things. All the right things.
We've had directors make Godzilla movies for Toho who were fans. But none of those movies comes close to what we got with Minus One. None of these movies. Whether it's like a giant toy commercial with Final Wars or a social commentary on Fukushima. None of them come close to this. It's not even a social commentary. Well, kind of. There's some, I guess the whole thing with the Japanese government just leaving them to fend for themselves type shit. Yeah. But even that's not really like put front and center. What's put front and center is these characters and their story, where they're going. His challenge. His survivor's guilt. Because look, there's no doubt in my mind, Godzilla doesn't show up, he's fine. He can live with himself for not killing himself, right? He's fine. But it was the survivor's guilt of not pulling the trigger. And seeing all of those men die and having their pictures of their families haunting him. I loved it. It's, man.
When that realization came, when he was on the boat and the guy staggers on over to him and he gives him that little package, it didn't hit me at first. But then as you see him going through the pictures, I'm like, he just handed him the pictures of all those men and their families. Fuck.
Yep.
That's cold.
Just to fucking lord over him how badly he fucked up.
Yeah. And, dude, I mean, bro was gonna go through with it. He was genuinely gonna go through with it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, for a good 4 minutes, I was like, damn. So that's it for him then. Oh, parachute! It's like, all right. Yeah, I saw a little warning label on the seat. I figured, come on now. I was happy he survived. I was.
Yeah, definitely a good. This movie was like Jaws in a lot of ways. Okay, it obviously Godzilla in the water sequences straight out of Jaws.
Oh yeah,
It blew his fucking face off.
There was moments where you look at that and you think, is he literally going to say "smile, you son of a bitch" in Japanese?
Right before, right. I mean, come on. We had Go Ahead Make My Day in one of the greatest Heisei Godzilla movies ever made. So I'm just saying, take that, you dinosaur. Take that, Major Spielberg. I'm just saying, you see how the dots are connected? I'm just saying, there's a lot of Jaws down to this typical Spielberg happy ending.
Yeah.
She was alive. Everybody lived. Hurrah! Nobody died at the end of that movie. Godzilla. And not even Godzilla. Because, you know.
You thought.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it's things like that. And then I go back to what Gareth Edwards said when he saw the movie a month ago and saying, man, I wish I made this movie. Because when he made 2014, he was really going heavy on the Spielberg Jaws tip. It just wasn't executed like this. See, look, I hate that less is more shit. No. Especially when it comes to a monster movie, especially when it comes to a Godzilla movie. More is more. The more you give me, the more I want. Just seeing Godzilla's spine swimming through the fucking water or breaching, towards the end. Not even towards the end. I'm lying. Right before he attacks Tokyo. Yo, I was saying Giza yesterday, all through the fucking podcast, is Ginza with an N. And now I feel like a fucking moron for 3+ hours. I kept saying Giza. Stupid. Damn stupid. But I like just things like that. Seeing the spines breach. The spines are fucking gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And I'm just sitting there like, this $15 million? Ew.
Like we said yesterday, Legendary Godzilla might have started that thing where the beam charge starts at the tip of the tail and goes up the back. This perfected it.
Oh, perfected it.
Man.
Let's talk about that beam.
Trailer so many times, but seeing that in context of the movie and seeing it fully play out, start to finish, no tiny bits of missing footage, that was
dread.
The look on those people's faces.
Yeah.
They knew they were about to fucking die. It's like, whatever that is going to kill the shit out of us. And they died.
Oh no, the big thing's glowing blue. This can't be a good thing.
And they just stand there in awe. It's like,
they accepted their fate.
Exactly. What is this? What is that? Why does it look like a whee? And then they do the electric woo and stomp on your right foot. Don't forget it. Doing that for a second night because it's funny to me.
You're terrible.
I know.
No, the atomic breath was fantastic in this movie. I love the way it was utilized. I really do. At first, I can't lie, in the trailers, I was like, what the hell? Why did that when you see the first spine move, the first trailer that they showed, the tail spike move, I was like, what the hell is that? What the hell? But I wasn't feeling it until I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's literally cocking back. They're pulling the hammer back. Like, oh shit. Fantastic. And it works, even in the water. See, when we're at the end, when they're in the water, and he shoots the fucking breath the first time, and he's like, "Don't worry, he needs to recharge." And then it starts up again, and he's like, "Oh."
Uh-oh.
It's so good.
Scientist guy, man. That scientist guy was winging it, and you could tell. He's like, no, he's gonna reach out. Don't worry, everything's gonna work. Nobody's gonna die. What? No, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, he's like, listen,
Out of all
I can't guarantee it's gonna kill him. Is it gonna kill him? I don't know. He gets up to leave. No, you know what? No, yes.
You know what?
Yes, it is.
Definitely work.
Foolproof plan. Trust me. My good friend Dr. Serizawa, he told me so. this is going to
There's
work.
definitely not gonna be 69 more years of this. No.
No.
Not even.
It's a
Out of all
fantastic.
the crazy visual effects in this movie, the one thing that really got me at the end of the day was finding out that the Kenji Noda was wearing a wig the entire time. You look up a picture of the actor.
What?
He's a young man.
Really?
He is
Scientist
not.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he was wearing a wig?
Yeah. Because if you look at a picture of him, this dude is not old like that. He does not
Oh my
have
God.
gray hair.
That's perfect because, like, I was saying he looked like Ichiban from Yakuza 7. It's like, hey, Ichiban, what are you doing?
You know, it's funny you say that because I was looking for that dude when they did the red carpet thing celebration. I don't even think they showed the movie, but in Tokyo, and then they had the giant Godzilla float come out. And I'm looking for that dude because I'm like, yo, where's that scientist guy? Because he wasn't. Oh my God, that's great. $15 million, unreal.
He's
was
a
my
great
favorite.
character. Yeah, he's the best.
Rob,
But
what did you think about the guy that rolled his R's whenever he spoke?
Captain,
He was like the boat captain.
Captain.
Dude is swimming in it, and he knows it. We all know it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was chewing that fucking scenery.
He was having a good time, and before you even get to know him and they're on the boat and everything, the first thing that popped up is there's Brody, there's Dreyfus, there's Quint. We got not barrels, but mines. That's the first thing that came up. Because he was the tallest one out of all of them, just like Quint, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They- was Quint he might have been, but
Roy Schneider, I think,
immediately
was the
it's like,
tallest.
oh,
No,
I see what you did there.
and you know what's great about that character?
Mhm.
The end. Not the end. I shouldn't say the end. When they're going to the thing, and a kid is like, "Oh, I'm ready. And he's like, "No, you ain't going." He's like, "What are you talking about? You're not going." And he's screaming. The kid is screaming at the stairs, like, "Please, like, you can't do this to me." And as he's walking off, it was Captain's like, his delivery of the line, basically like, live
You better
or
not make that little girl an orphan.
no, it wasn't directed at
Yeah.
him. It was directed at kid. Because now his arm was in the sling and shit. I forgot what he said, but it hit me today. I was like, wow, it was tough.
he was basically saying, "Be free of war."
Yeah, basically,
yeah.
yeah.
You're
Glad
alive.
that-
Do not have the torment that we have, that we face, and we are about to literally try to end.
Yeah, but he says
Yeah, be glad
it's
you
a
never experienced this shit.
Yeah,
quiet
He said
moment
we
though.
lead you to
He-
our future.
He does
Yeah.
yes. He says yes.
We lead you to our future.
That's exactly what he said. And he says it to Doc. He doesn't even scream it back at the it's just a quiet moment between him and Doc as Kid is screaming, "Why?" That was fucking and again, these characters are so well done, so well crafted. Everybody has a chance to shine.
Everybody does.
And it is unfucking believable. Hell, fucking tall mustache man. When they're like, you know what I'm talking about, right? The guy is like, yo, we gotta do it. Let's do it. Like, fuck it. He's on this. You see him later on the ship. Like, he's like, uh-oh, we're all dead. When Godzilla's charging that breath up. But it's, man,
What did he say? Revenge of the useless, or here come the useless?
oh, Kid, when he brought the,
When he brought the boys with the bowl.
wait, no, he said,
Yeah, the boys.
oh, he said, Cap, on your left. Because come on, man. You want to start a cinematic universe. You know what to ape. Tell me I'm lying. He said, Cap, on your left. Motherfucking Cap said,
Now I'm not going to be able to unsee or hear that because that's all that I'm going to think of now.
it's true. It's true. That shit was
It is.
so well done that in the same fucking year, Disney said, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it again. And did it to fucking Rise of Skywalker. It's like, what's going on here? It's the same fucking ending. Hell, to the point that Godzilla even fucking dusted. Fucking got dusted. Wow.
I can't survive that. That's too good. Peace. I'm gonna go get the whole upper part of my head blown off by an airplane. Thanks. Done.
We've never seen that before. The closest we've ever
No.
and then fan theories, right? Godzilla 84, the hole in the side of the costume. We want to attribute that to the Super X blowing up the fucking side of Godzilla's head, and then regenerated G1, which wasn't a thing yet, but the regeneration thing, now Godzilla's head is normal. And it's the lore that fans come up with that gets put into actuality. Things like that I fucking love, you know? Godzilla had his whole fucking skull blown off. I never seen that before. Mecha Godzilla
Not
killed
even
Godzilla
just-
in every fucking movie. Never did that. Never.
And then he's trying to roar while his head's blown off. And then he's being chopped into pieces by his own atomic breath. And I'm just like,
What?
how they follow
What a
it? Like,
fucking shot.
yeah, I'm like, how are they following this shit up ever again? Because it was like perfect. It was
That's
perfect.
the thing. That's the thing. Don't follow it up. Do something completely different.
No, you just bring Anguirus into it, okay? That's what we need to do for the next one. If we're going this direction.
So here we go, speculation time. My favorite game. Here's what I think. Here's what I hope. This is definitely set up to be more than one. Toho has said as much as they want to create their a cinematic universe of their own. They've done it. They were one of the first to do it. It was the Universal Monsters, then it was Toho. We see their success in this stuff with Marvel up to year 10. We see, the Monsterverse doing it. Why can't it? Especially if this is the jump-off point, because this is a perfect movie. It's a perfect jump-off point. Here's what you do, though. You don't rush Godzilla right away. We get a Mothra movie. And just hear me out. I wouldn't even call it Mothra. I would call it Children of the Moth. Get everybody's attention diverted. Then what's that? And then bam, it's a Mothra movie. I'm with it. Why Children of the Moth? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the radiation running up on the neck? I don't know. Play with it. Figure something out. Because Minus One, grounded in reality as it was, because it really, really was, still a tale about a gigantic radioactive dinosaur.
That was somehow living on an island eating fish for however many years. Like,
That gets mutated and could grow his goddamn head back.
yeah,
It's great fucking shit. And we seen it.
it is.
They show it. They don't shy from it. They don't shy from it. And it's just like, I can't believe this was done. I can't believe this movie was this good. So, I mean, if they want to continue it, I would go that direction. I'd start doing branch-off movies. Or if you want to do Godzilla again, just set it a little bit further into the future. I think me and Game was talking about this a couple months ago. Don't just make a direct sequel the next year. You know what I mean? Set it in a different fucking decade. You know? Although it seems like Godzilla's gonna come back pretty quick. That regeneration is fast
No
acting,
joke.
connecting. You know what I'm saying? That is. But all right. So Rob, no, real quick, the music. We got to talk about the music. And yes, they
Yeah.
play our favorite tracks. You can't have a good Godzilla movie without our favorite tracks. And they come in spades. And Gam was gonna say it. I heard him. He was ready to jump at the bit to talk about the what? Gams?
The Fukube music
Yeah, the Mothra theme.
or the
right?
ambiance?
Well, that's where I was.
Oh yeah. Where when Godzilla first comes ashore in Ginza, it's the opening theme to Mothra versus Godzilla, and then the second time the theme comes in, it's the fucking Godzilla march mixed with the fucking King Kong theme. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. But it was the original score for this movie is all sorts of fucking beautiful. It's poetic in a sense. It's poetic in a sense. You said ambiance. There is this, and now I can't even fucking remember the scene, but there's a scene where it's you just hear just this background ambiance sound, and it's just fucking. It's for me, it's soothing. But if it's not me, it's absolutely chilling. It's terrifying. And it's constantly there. Oh my God. It's like what Nolan did with the Joker, right? You had that really crazy noise to fuck with your brainwaves. That's how I felt. I was like, yo, they're doing something here. It's smooth, melodic, and I've never seen this in a Godzilla movie. This definitely has the best soundtrack. Only because they have the classics, they have the maestro's music there, so you have to do that. But as far as an original score, this one's the best. Hands down.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely up there. Because that's another thing with this movie. It uses its music very finely. It's not dropping it every 15 seconds or anything. It's not dropping it at inopportune times. Each track feels like it was made for that specific scene, and it was utilized for those specific scenes effortlessly. Like when Hope plays or when Prey plays or all of that. Like they were tailor-made for those moments, and they match, they fit. And I like that there are moments where you don't hear music for a bit. Like Yamazaki knew when to use the tunes and when not to use the tunes to let the people convey everything and not just the music. Because there are some movies that come out these days where it's like, we're gonna put the super sad song right fucking here, guys. This like big red button, play the sad music. Here it was just beautiful. Beautiful. It's like the heart, the bones, the brain, the skin. Perfect.
I got a question, because I really don't know the answer to this. How many movies has this man directed? Because I saw something today and I don't want to believe it, so that's why I'm asking. Because I saw
Takashi.
Yeah, I saw today. Somebody said that this is his second movie.
No,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's impossible.
No, he's been making movies. He's been making movies since 2000. Like his first major movie was Juvenile in 2000.
All right, good then.
He made Doraemon 2 in 2020, Yokaipedia in 2022. He's been making movies since the 2000s, and probably even before then, because Wikipedia don't know anything. But no, he did. He's done a bunch. Like Always Sunset on 3rd Street 1 and 2 were in 2005 and 7. So he's been cooking for a while now.
All right, yeah, so I knew I was bugging. I knew that whoever wrote that was bugging, but I was like, but wait a minute, is that true? Of course, I didn't look it up because why would I?
Yeah.
But even still, the man's resume, whatever it may be, Godzilla Minus One is now on it, and it absolutely speaks for itself. It speaks to a generation. It speaks to everybody in the fandom, and if you're watching and paying attention to all these non-Godzilla fans, it sure the fuck is speaking to them. So now I want to get into, before we sign off, or before you have anything else to say, some of the negative stuff we've seen. What was the craziest thing any of y'all seen so far negative about this movie? And does it come from the fandom, or does it come from outside of the fandom?
I mean, I can immediately bring up this guy named Adam Does Movies. He's like the only critic on Rotten Tomatoes who gave it a rotten score just to be that guy.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. He's getting his on Twitter. He ain't defending himself very well because people are like, yo, did you even watch the movie? Like, this guy, and I watched some of his review last night before we started the podcast, and I was like, yeah, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Like it really did come off as, I'm gonna be the one asshole that's a detractor for the film, just to get the clout. Fine, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But don't lie. Don't lie.
What was he
Don't act
saying?
like you've seen something you didn't see.
Like, what was some of the random shit he said? Like, some of the dumbest things he said.
He was saying that the characters weren't developed good. The music was like thrown in there just haphazardly. Shin, and then
I think he even trashed on the special effects.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, but that's like in Chase and us were talking about it earlier too. Like, a lot of the Shin Godzilla fans are pissed off at Minus One, and they're calling it plebby and stuff. Like, yeah, it's not as deep as on a Shin. I'm not here to bash Shin, but I'm like...
Well, you can bash them because they're talking out of their ass.
They're absolutely talking out of their ass. I sit here and I watch Shin Godzilla and then watched Minus One. Like,
that's what I did.
Right after, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm not a Shin fan, but I know when a movie's good and when a movie's bad.
Why does a movie need to be deep to be good?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
And that's
Why
the
does
thing.
it need to be X, Y, and Z to be good?
And Minus One's still deep, you know? It's got government criticism of the Americans and the Soviets in it, and, again, well-armed militias. Japan's pro well-armed militias. I loved that, I'm sorry. But, no, like, it had deep themes, PTSD, survivor's guilt, all of this stuff. And we're going to disregard all of that because Anno is best thing that ever happened to Japan. It's like, okay, calm down. You can enjoy your fucking Shin Godzilla and your Evangelion. But shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
As a Shin Godzilla lover, shut your fucking front mouth door, please, because
Like-
no.
So, like
It's
what kind of takes have you seen on Twitter, Rob?
The one take that I saw that really just... Did you watch the fucking movie was the nationalist comment. That the movie's nationalist towards...
How in the actual fuck?
I genuinely want to know where people are digging and pulling out these butt nuggets of idiocy. Because I sat there. I watched the fucking movie. Where? Give me the roadmap. Point to me. Show me where it is so then I can criticize it too. I'm sorry, but it's not friggin' there.
It's nowhere
It's
there.
not. This is a movie about people.
Yep.
This is a movie about people and Godzilla. Not in any single scene is anybody even alluding to that. Nobody.
What are they thinking? They
No,
think,
the fact-
what are they thinking? They're like,
what?
they're like, oh, I'm offended that they showed them living in like the streets. Like, why? Why do we have to see that? Shut the fuck up. That's not nationalism. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's historically accurate. We kind of bombed the shit out of that country.
And they never even won shit on the Americans in this movie, right? Like, for crying out loud, he goes, this makes money, we make money. We can buy American powdered milk. Like, he's just like, we need them. So I don't understand this nationalist bullshit.
The only person who I've seen that shares my minor gripes, like the fact that the Bikini Atoll test was not only done too early, it was just kind of glossed over, was Matt Frank of all people.
Oh boy. You know what?
Talk about that.
Yeah. I bet you he makes a lot of money drawing it though.
He does.
Oh, he's gonna make a bank off this movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, drawing the exact same way and not changing up at all. It's okay.
Nah, man,
Anyways.
stop that. The dude, let's stop
I
playing
know
no
he
games.
puts his work in, but
That
it's okay
dude,
because Minus
he
One is
worked.
propaganda. Propaganda film.
I am waiting.
I'm waiting for the Omni viewer to fucking review this movie. I can't wait, dude.
I've only seen, and
Because
there's a dude I follow on Instagram that I really like, And I didn't hate his take. I didn't feel disrespected by it. He just basically was like, I don't know how I feel. I don't think it's, this is what he said, I don't think it's better than Shin Godzilla. He goes, it was, for him, it was a movie for normies. His words. And I get where he's coming from. Now I'm like, no, this movie's fucking good. And I think Shin Godzilla, because it was so radically different, a lot of people were just like, yes, this. And as a Godzilla fan, I'm like, no, not. What? While I do appreciate it now, a hell of a lot more than I ever did then, you gotta watch it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, I was just bad because I'm like, again, you can love Shin Godzilla, but this movie, maybe some people totally understood all the science behind Shin Godzilla, the shit that went right over my head, and then they felt like, well, this was dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody. I'm just...
I don't get that. I don't get how making the most Godzilla movie that ever Godzilla to be dumbed down. I don't get that.
All right, no, and nobody said that. Nobody said that. I'm just, I'm just throwing that out there in the atmosphere for people who might not have liked this movie and love Shin Godzilla because maybe they think Shin Godzilla was a lot smarter than this.
Well, and for me, it's like Minus One for me did perfected everything that was in Shin Godzilla. Like, it made Godzilla actually fucking scary. Not just look scary, actually fucking scary. It made me feel the terror. It did new stuff. I mean, the whole fucking movie is stuff we haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. It did new stuff. There's still really great science in there. The political commentary's there. Mm-hmm. It's all there. It was all there in Shin Godzilla 2. I just think he just took the elements. It's like he listened to my review of Shin Godzilla. Like, you can do that. Just make it not Anno. Yeah, just make it not Anno. Make it to where I can understand it and appreciate it. And that's, for me, it's like the perfect evolution of that. That's just for me. And I'm a Shin Godzilla hater, but the elements I liked in Shin Godzilla, I fucking loved in this movie. Mm-hmm. So.
All right,
but you can like your Shin. You can like this.
You can like both.
Yes, right? It's okay.
It's okay. One doesn't need to be better than the other, sweetie. Come on now.
I keep saying that. Like, I don't understand the hate GVK gets. It's unbelievable.
Comparing this to Shin Godzilla is like comparing apples and oranges.
It was like comparing Shin Godzilla to 2014 all over again.
Oh, God.
That's ridiculous, because that is vastly different.
Yeah, those are two different beasts.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Shin fans, from a fellow Shin fan, relax. The movie is still good. This movie existing does not take away a single thing.
Your movie's safe.
Shin Godzilla did.
Your movie's safe. Don't worry, guys. Your movie's safe. Look at my man Kaneko. You think he's rocky? You think he's worried? He's looking at it like, remember my Gamera trilogy? Silly humans. Remember I made GMK? Who loves GMK? Silly humans, I'm his senpai. That's what he's saying right now. But before we wrap up, Rob, yesterday we did a breakdown, a score breakdown from 1 to 10, 10 obviously being the best. So I wanna throw this to you. I want to get your opinion from 1 to 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories, okay? So we'll start number 1 from 1 to 10. What did you think of the story?
Story, I would definitely give a 10. Just because the people, the drama, the action, it was all there. It had everything I needed. Sue me.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
The acting.
There were a couple of moments where the leading man was a little hammy here and there, but nothing that took me out of the moment. and I think everybody did a beautiful job, especially Sumiko. That's her name, right? Sumiko.
The
Everybody. Auntie.
Yeah,
I love
Auntie
her.
was on
I
I'm
really
on Twitter.
She was funny.
I see you stimping for her. I see.
Oh,
it.
dude, simping hard. I was hoping she was pulling out the boxing gloves from 100 Yen Love when she played a boxer. I was ready for her to crack him right in the face.
Oh, you know the actress. Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Auntie was dope. I loved Auntie. She was great.
I did too.
So acting, what's your score?
Man, I'm not gonna. I don't want this to be the 10 show, but I would give it a 10.
10 it is. All right.
I loved it.
Shin Rob, let me ask you, the music.
10.
Oh my God, I see a pattern forming. Oh, we didn't even talk about this during the podcast. We talked about it in depth yesterday. But Shin Rob, the sound.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the sound? Because there were many callbacks, especially with Godzilla.
I can't give it a 10. That far exceeds 10s right there, man.
Oh,
I mean,
X.
Yeah. I'm fucking flabbergasted. Yeah, no, like, I mean, even when it comes down to the technical stuff, the mixing and everything, some people are saying some shit's too loud. I'm sitting there in the theater like, I can hear everything just fine. It was beautiful. 10.
10.
I'm sorry, 10. Nice and clear. Nice and...
Before we go to the next category, Godzillasaurus' rampage in the beginning of the movie, his grunts and bellows they were on the island fighting the Anguirus and Godzilla raids again. It was that. And I loved it. And I fucking loved it. He didn't have the classic Godzilla roar just yet. But it was Godzilla. And I don't know if you peeped it. When Godzilla comes ashore for the first time and the radio broadcast hits, it's the same exact radio broadcast from the original 54. When he comes ashore.
Oh, when the alarm goes off.
When the alarm...
This is a warning.
Yep. It was fucking perfect. All right.
Balls dropping.
Special effects.
You're fucking kidding me. It's so good. It's so good. There wasn't a singular moment where I think the VFX looked bad. There wasn't any weird, janky movements either. I like the fact that this guy was a little quick moving too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I jived with it, especially when he was a little Godzillasaurus, when he was a little Geno boy. I thought that was awesome. Him being quick and having weight to his movements, man. Oh, the animation, the 10.
All right. And last but definitely not least, Mr. Shin Rob. Godzilla himself.
Dude, I mean, bro, I couldn't hate it if I tried. I could not hate it if I tried. Really couldn't hate it. I loved him in his little iguana-esque form, in his final form, in his mincemeat, half a meatball form with his eyeballs popping out like a Tex Avery cartoon. This man went through hell, looked great. Bro, he's right on up there with Shin for me. That's a 10. He's up there.
Well,
it's 10s, bro. I'm sorry.
Tallying all that up, it looks like Gam Gam and JR that Godzilla Minus One goes from
It's a 10 out of 10 movie.
It's a 10 out of 10 movie. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. I got one more person to ask, and that's my brother Matt, G95. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming for you. I ask you the same questions, because he knows. He knows the deal. But listen, I mean, is there anything you want to say in closing, Rob? Because we, like I said yesterday, we've said our piece, so the floor is yours.
I don't know. As far as speculation goes and where they could really go, I mean, I say hit the ground running, do what feels right. I share your sentiment in saying, let's not go directly back to Godzilla. Let's start building up a little bit. Couple other monsters here and there, Mothra, and maybe as we approach into the 60s and 70s, we can tackle pollution of some kind. I would really, really like it if this really does like kick off Toho's like new wave of Godzilla films where they're all going to be sequential and they're all going to follow one another. I would really like it if Godzilla takes a backseat for a movie, maybe even two, just to really build up to it. And I mean, as far as what I'd like to see first, I mean, Mothra's definitely up there. No Ghidorah, not yet. No Rodan, not yet. Although Rodan would be, if Yamazaki did a Rodan film, oh dear Lord in heaven. I don't know.
I'd fall apart like Godzilla did at the end of Minus One. I'd be like, Rodan? Miyazaki? Goodbye.
But, I mean, I'm here for it. They have my full support, whether Yamazaki's returning or not. I mean, he said he wants to do Star Wars. So, give that man the keys to the kingdom. Let him do Star Wars. I'm here for it.
I mean, he's friends with Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards got some pull with that franchise.
No, he don't.
Not how Rogue One ended up.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that off the air.
Yeah. But basically, I loved it. I love what they're going for. If this does continue, I mean, even if I hated this movie, I would still be there because I love Godzilla, but I don't hate this movie. I love it. Straight 10s across the board. Read them and weep. I'm there for it. Whatever you guys want to do next, Toho, fucking do it. I mean, y'all making all the goddamn money right now, so keep going. I'm here for it. Take my money.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up this podcast because you know what? 3 of us here are extremely tired from last night. I digress. Gams, thank you for joining us today.
Of course, and thank you, Rob, for fucking getting your spiel out. Like, I love listening to your takes.
Well, the minute I turned my phone back on after the movie ended and I saw your messages popping up, I'm like, if they are asking me to get on a podcast tonight, I am going on that fucking podcast. Because 1, it's been too damn long. I miss all y'all. And 2, I got to talk to somebody that, people that are versed in the Godzillion history. Because, like I said, I was there with a bunch of friends who, you know, they've seen the MonsterVerse films. They might have seen some of the older Godzilla films. This was their first Toho Godzilla movie in the theaters. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I've ruined them with Shin Ultraman. I ruined them with Shin Kamen Rider, and now I'm ruining them with Godzilla. And I love it.
That's how you do it. JR, thank you for joining us.
Listen, next movie, Godzilla with nipples.
I'm gonna fucking throw
He
this.
had titties in this one, bro.
He did have some.
He had some fucking knockers, bro.
He kind of had
That's what that is.
he kind of had that scar on his chest too. I kept going, oh my god, it's the fucking Mechagodzilla. It's Kiruzilla. Never mind, I hate that shit. Shin Rob, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. As always, it's always a joy. It's always a pleasure. Always.
And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. Another Godzilla Minus One review. There might be one more in the pipes. Just saying. That'll do it for this. I am G1 and we are out of here. Peace.